Okay, thank you very much. Hey everyone, Jefferson Graham here with the Thursday afternoon live show, where today we've got a new product that we're going to show off, the Insta360 Flow Pro. This is the sequel to last year's Flow. As many people know, I have not been a big fan of gimbals because it's just another thing you have to take out with you and deal with out in the field, and I never thought the quality was that good. And I'll tell you all about how I feel with this one today. But for starters, I put a little work in here to try to show you what the Flow looks like. And I connected an iPhone, and I've got the Flow Pro on there. The big news is that you can do stuff like this. It can follow you around everywhere you go, which is pretty cool. It's using a technology that Apple calls DocKit, which it just introduced. By the way, the product sells for $150, and you can. I'm in the Insta360 app right now. I should be looking this way when I'm addressing you. I'm in the Insta360 app right now. We can flip this open, and we can go to the native Apple app, and DocKit should be working there. Yes, sort of. Sort of. Okay. We've got Will here, and Will is looking forward to my perspective. Will is a big fan. This does not work as well in the Apple app as it did in Insta360. I also did a test in Instagram earlier, and let's go to Reel, or let's go to Camera, and it works there as well, as you could tell. So that's a lot of fun. You could do this in the previous edition of the Flow, but I think it's a little better now. Will have to tell us, because he has the previous edition, whether that looks a lot better. Now I have to draw a picture around my head, and now it will follow me. And so hello John, hello Linda, thanks for being here. And it's great to have you here. So submit, if you got questions or comments, please let me know. Right now, I'm showing you what's on here, and if you want to, things are going to get messed up here because I have the Flow and an iPhone plugged into my laptop so that it can then be shown to you as a screen share on the live, and it doesn't really like having cables in there. But let's see what happens. If we go to photo, that's one option you have. I could still do that whole thing. You could do a time lapse, which we're certainly not going to do. Something called time shift, which I'm not sure what exactly that is. I'm going to be showing you this product pretty soon. This might be the time that we're going to do it because it just dang. I put a sound effect into the Ecamm program today, but I don't know how to take it out. Drats, if Doc is out there, would he please tell us? And what happened to the comments? There they are. Okay. Will says that every review he's seen indicates that DocKit has some way to go before it is usable. It's working pretty well for me. Certainly works well, as I showed you in the Insta360 app. And I have a video to show because I can't really run the phone and show you what it's like, but I can show you an example of some stuff I shot earlier today. So take a look. So I'm walking down the street here, talking. I just climbed up some stairs, and we're going to do one of those going around. It's going to follow me the whole time. I love this. Okay, at the mall, good lighting as always. So we're going to do a walk and talk here. Or let's see how smooth I can be walking. This, right? Hello. But wouldn't I rather be this? Did you see that? I was over here like this, and I moved over here, and I stayed in the frame the whole time. So,
okay. Steady at your feet.
Yeah, and then I'll come over here.
I'm so excited about Ruth painting her car.
Yes.
Now, it'll fit in with the fancy neighborhood.
She was. I'm going to be handheld.
All right.
Okay, go ahead. Keep walking.
So,
Keep walking. Walk straight. Yes.
just tell me if you want me to jump or.
Sure. Very good.
I do take it.
I am sorry about that horn. Hopefully that's the last time you're going to have to hear it. So that was an example of some stuff I shot earlier. And I'd like to know what you think of what you saw. I think it was just a smidgen more smooth. And that would be just a smidgen. Will, what do you think? I mean, definitely would see the difference, but just not a huge difference, a small difference. We're talking now $150 product. So, and it does fit in the pocket. At least it fits in it fits in pockets if you got big pockets. It folds up nicely, and there's basically two differences. First of all, I should mention before I even go further, there are so many reviews of this product online right now, and most of them are sponsored and paid for by Insta360. This one is not. I bought this on Amazon yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago. And then it showed up yesterday, and then I've been playing with it ever since. I would have loved to have done a true unboxing video for you, but I had to open it up and play with it and charge it so I could show you some stuff. So we have a few questions. Let me jump in. Linda, are you doing a heel-toe walk? Didn't see much up-down movement while moving. I was doing the usual walk that one does when walking with a gimbal, and it wasn't going up and down. It was sort of, refined. Again, in the mall, I think there was a slight difference, but it was a slight one. Will says, how does it compare to the live function, which permits use of other camera apps? I didn't go live there. I plugged it into Ecamm, which allowed me to show it to you. I did not try doing a live broadcast. And again, this is my second day. He also says, live mode use Flow's tracking capabilities and third-party apps with video streams, such as instant messaging apps, camera apps, video conferencing apps, and live streaming apps. Well, as you know, I showed you what it looked like in the Apple native camera app and in Instagram. So it does follow the dock kit. Okay. Again, slight difference. It does fit. This is what I was going to tell you. What's new? What's different? This one's pretty good. I like this. I don't think I'll be able to show it to you. NFC right here. Instead of having trouble pairing, which I found to be a pain, you use NFC, which is the same thing that we have on our when we do Apple Pay. Let me get out of here. And let's see if I can make it kick in. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But you would push it right here, and there it goes. See, it just came up, and it will track it and pair very quickly and very nicely, and it is now connecting. And then from there, I would put it up here. So that one is actually the reason that I bought it. And I said, okay, well, if NFC makes it easier to connect, then I'm all for it, and I want to give it a try. It also, you put USB in here, and you can charge up the device. You can charge up your phone with a charged one of these guys. It has a tripod, which I think it had before. Will, how different is this? All right, you have to pull all of them out in order to place it down. I find, and then of course, you have a selfie stick, which I don't think is that solid, but you do have it. And then the other thing you can do is you have a 1/4-20 down here, and you can take your old selfie stick and stick it in there and go a lot higher, or not. I just find it steadier like this. So that's that. We have another question down here. Will says dock kit does follow, but it's slow and a bit jerky. I think that's true, but it did work better in the Insta360 app, where I'd rather be anyway. And he says with his old Flow, he uses a Cinema P3 camera in live to get tracking, which I assume is a setting. In the box, what do we have here? It's a very nice box. And basically you're going to pull out the Flow, and this really made me mad. I wonder how people feel about this. USB-A cable to USB-C. Who uses USB-A anymore? I certainly don't. I want to be all USB-C, and I think that was chintzy of them to do that. Then there's this little thing, a little pouch that somehow we're going to fit that in there, and a little protector for down here, which I haven't put on yet. I don't really know what that's all about. So that's pretty much the Flow. I'd say it's similar to the last version. It will connect way better with the NFC, and it's worked for me really well. So I like this one a lot more. But will I bring it with me on a shoot? Probably. Will I use it? That's another story. Just a little bit better. And like I've got a production I'm doing next week. I'm going to be busy shooting all day. I think I just want to use my filmmaking cage, because with the filmmaking cage, I got my mics in there, I got my lights, and I'm going to put in a dock on the side so that, because in the new Blackmagic Camera app, you can record directly to SD cards, which I'm really enthused about. And so I can do all that with my filmmaking cage, and on this, the minute you put something in your phone, it starts screwing up with the balance. So that's the story. Any questions about the Insta360 product or other things that are on your mind? Will says it'll be a few years before all of his kit is USB-C. Until then, I have to take millions of cables. Yeah, I have my whole travel thing worked out where I have one USB cable that goes into a double adapter, double charger, and then the other one I use MagSafe. And so, because as you know, I bring multiple phones with me, and then I have got the computer charger, which is USB-C. So I pretty much mostly USB-C. When the new iPhone comes out, then I'll have 2 USB phones, and I might retire the 14 at that point, because I also, somewhere on this desk is a Galaxy, which is USB-C. My GoPro's USB-C. My Insta360 Flow, the X4, that's USB-C. It's a lot of USB-C, and of course my drone is USB-C. Chris says, are there limits beyond which NFC won't work, off the grid, low batteries, etc.? 2 days in, and I don't know. So far, it's worked pretty much every time and very well. I left this on. I left this extended all day, and I think I ate at the batteries. But so I did a quick charge this morning, and that really helped a lot. Will says, on a flight 2 weeks ago, the power supply was from USB-A. Yeah, all the old planes are USB-A, I know. So, Will, if you'd like to give me your address, I'd be more than happy to send this to you, because I don't want it. But yeah, the planes have to adapt, as do the hotels. You know, you go into these hotel rooms, and they have a lamp with 2 USB-A slots in the lamp, and you say, oh, that's very nice, but I don't really have a need for a USB-A cable. And the thing about the MagSafe, I use the MagSafe charger for, I think it's this phone. This is the iPhone 14, which does not charge very well, but it will charge on the MagSafe. My connector is a little weird. And I guess I just have to get another cable. One thing I tried this morning, speaking of Insta360, and first I'm going to answer Damon's question. What dock lets you record to SSD? Just the Blackmagic app and an SSD? Yes. Okay, but here's the deal. All right, so here we go. This is the Insta360 doodad. There is a micro SD card in here, and I was really excited about this. And then you put it in here into your iPhone, and now it connects. It connects, and you go to the files, app, and you see it in there. You see your SD card in there. And I said, oh, this is amazing. This is great. But I only have one problem, because my mics are going in there at the same time. So what am I going to do? Let's unplug that. I got to figure out a way to get this in and to Velcro it to my filmmaking cage. So the Blackmagic Camera app for iOS and Android will let you record directly to a drive or an SD card. How cool is that? Nobody's going to tell you you're out of room until you're out of room. But the better thing is, like, I'm going on a shoot this week, and I have to share the footage with the people I'm doing the shoot with. I'd love to hand them the card and just copy it, as opposed to doing the whole airdrop and process that I'm going to have to go through. So that was that story. Okay, so who has tried the Blackmagic app? It's a really wonderful video app. Again, video files will record to an SD card or to a drive. And I'll be telling you a lot more about Blackmagic, because I've been working a lot with it in the coming weeks. Again, these are my those are my mics. So in my kit, in my filmmaking rig, I will have the mics, a light, a charger, and the SSD drive. It will probably be, well, it'll be the card. I like this little thing I just showed you. Also, yeah, have something like this. I have a whole lot of little things. So I don't know how I'm gonna put a hard drive on the back of the filmmaking rig, but I'll try. Linda says, I'm starting to work with the Blackmagic app. It's still very new to me. There's a lot of really good tutorials here online, and I'm going to be making one next week as well. And there's just a lot of tools in there. The other fun thing is that time-lapse. You know that longtime viewers know that I'm a time-lapse freak. And the native time-lapse app on the iPhone will screw you around, because they are all automatic. You can't choose your interval. You can't choose pretty much anything except what lens choice you'll be using. And if you shoot for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, one day, and I've done it, it will only be 30 seconds, no matter what. So the Blackmagic app will let you choose the interval and the shutter speed and how long you want to shoot for. And it's a free app, so I definitely recommend everybody to download it. Relapse, which is a new app, also is $15, and it will also give you those choices. And if you're an Android person, the Samsung app will let you make choices, but they're a lot easier to figure out on the Blackmagic app and the Relapse app. Okay, Chris says, how about Final Cut Camera? Anyone using it? You know, I opened it, I looked around, and I wasn't very impressed. It looks impressive if you have the latest iPad, because then you could do multicam. You could grab four iPhones or 3 iPhones or whatever, and have them all on the iPad and switch back and forth while you're doing the shoot, which would be a lot of fun. But I'm not seeing a lot offered beyond that, as opposed to set your white balance, set your ISO, various things like that. You have a lot more choices in the Blackmagic app. Chris, have you tried it? I'd love to hear. And Damon said he just downloaded Final Cut Camera, but he had been using Filmic, which I think is out of business. Earlier, was it about a year ago, when they switched from it'll cost you $20 to buy the thing to it'll cost you $20 a week to use it. And then when Blackmagic came out with their app, it kind of sealed it for them, and they just shut down. What else do we have? Okay, let's see. So Samsung introduced some new phones yesterday, and I was not invited to Paris to go see them, as many other people were, and their way was paid, you should know. And they got very excited about a new Fold and a new flip phone. that are like $1,500 to $1,800, and I don't get it. I don't get it. I understand the Galaxy. I understand why people love the Galaxy, but I don't understand. I don't understand that kind of money for a phone that really hasn't taken off. Where's the $800 version, right? Damon said he did not know that Filmic went out of business. I'm pretty sure they did. So check that. It's hard for me to look at you and look up things at the same time. But anybody interested in the Samsung Fold? I know it's a nice phone, but not for $1,800. And Chris says he's not doing much video yet, just panos and such. And I think that was in response. That's on Final Cut Camera or whatever. Okay, so so that was the news this week. Google is next to introduce new phones in August. So there'll be the Pixel 9, and they'll say it's the fastest, most advanced, got the best AI and the best camera, and then a few weeks later, Apple will introduce the iPhone 16, which is their flagship AI device. Though in June they said the big news was that Siri would be more talkative and more conversational and would understand better. And you say, okay, great, I don't believe you, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. And then it turns out the all-new Siri won't be available until the spring. That's like 8 months later. So, so much for that. And I'm still excited about the new phone. Whatever it is, I'll be buying it or I'll be getting it, and can't look forward to it. And and that's so. Apple usually introduces it right after Labor Day, and then the phone will be out by September 25th. Chris is working with the Apple Video Camera app, which is great. I really like it a lot. And Damon says he produced a launch campaign for the Fold, but he still doesn't want it. I would love to have one, but not for $1,800. And I've talked to people who have one, and they really like it. And I guess they're just willing to spend more money. But it just seems out of touch and not a consumer device, and I don't get why they can't lower the price and come up with a model that more people could buy. So the Google came out with a Fold a year ago too, and you certainly don't see anybody using those. The same thing goes with the Pixel. There are more people using the Pixel, not as many as use the Galaxy. Now, with our crowd here, do we have Galaxy and Pixel people? Raise your hand, let me know. Do we use mostly iPhones? And what are your thoughts about this little guy here? About what I showed you today? Do we have people who want to buy it? And did you think the footage looked better? Was it worth it? Was it worth it to bring it out with you? What do you think? I'll play with it some more this weekend, and I will bring it on my shoot that I'm doing on Wednesday and Thursday, but we're going to be shooting all day, and I just don't know. Again, I think the filmmaking cage is going to do better for me, and I can get some pretty smooth shots that way. PhotoWalks TV this weekend, we're in Idaho. As part of the Western trip, I'm taking you to the Idaho Tetons, the other side of the Tetons. Jackson Hole is where most people go to the Grand Teton National Park, which is amazing and beautiful. And but it's also, Jackson is the most expensive place in probably in the country to stay. So many people will go over the hill 45 minutes and stay in Victor, Driggs, and Tetonia, which is where I just was. That's the other side of the Tetons, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It doesn't get the attention, doesn't get the love, and I had a really good time there. And as always, the greatest huckleberry milkshakes in the world. And I'm not kidding. Also said to have the best hamburgers. So I'll be showing you some great photo spots and some of my food stuff. Chris, very much looking forward to your thoughts on the iPhone 16. Definitely disappointed with Siri news. Heard the beta dropping in January and after the holidays. I guess so. I do have iOS 18 on my phone right now, but I'm not really seeing much there beyond the revamp of the Photos app, which I showed you in last Saturday's newsletter. If you didn't see it, photowalkstv.com. Got the all-new look for the newsletter and website is all there. And Damon says, how was the tracking with the Flow? I think it's pretty good. I showed you at the beginning. I do not have it connected right now. So I would suggest when this replay comes on to just go back and watch it again, and you will see it in action. That's pretty much it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me here. And I'm Jefferson Graham, and I'll see you next Thursday. Same time, same channel. Thanks again. And don't forget to check out the Idaho Tetons this weekend. Bye-bye.